I came to France to find the trace of my great aunt, Miss McCullum, my grandmother's sister. I knew she was buried in Dinan in Brittany. I was astonished to see that on her tomb there was also the name Yvonne Jean-Haffen, painter. I did some research and learned that after the death of my great aunt, it was she who had bought the house, La Grande Vigne. When I visited this property, I too fell under the spell of this wonderful place.
I never forget. It was the eve of Pentecost, on the heights of Dinan, with an agency employee who failed to find the key. Climbing over the enclosure wall, our landing in the most overgrown, the most unexpected of properties. Finally, to reach a large house built on a rock dominating the Rance Valley. I didn't linger in the house. It was the garden that attracted me, its mystery. Brambles, nettles, mad plants invading everywhere. But in the midst of these brushwoods, roses emerged in the greenery. And then the view, all the grassland, and the singing valley of the Argentelle. I was literally spellbound.
It took a lot of persuading for her husband, Edward, to agree to buy what appeared to be a derelict ruin. But after some basic work, the garden and the house rediscovered their sparkle of the days of Miss McCullum. Let's go in and see first the living room, which has kept its original decoration. In 1925, Yvonne Jean-Haffen made the acquaintance of another Breton painter, Mathurin Meeux, who said to her, "Open your windows, tour the world, and you'll see that nature is a wonderful thing." She took it upon herself to do a tour of Brittany, capturing everyday life as we find in the large fresco she painted on the dining room wall. On the first floor, she equipped her workshop quite quickly, opening a sort of conservatory which seemed attached to a large oak tree. When you go in, you get the impression that time has stopped, that objects are waiting for their master. Across Brittany, she gathered landscapes, costumes, and attitudes which she sketched into a little notebook to paint them later on a canvas. To be constantly ready for work, she installed her bed in a corner of her workshop, where she decorated some of the walls, including the bathroom next door. On the door of the guest room Mathurin-Meux had attached his monogram, truly original. She admired his work for a long time and often invited him to La Grande Vigne. For him, painting was above all to bear witness to a rural Brittany, as he had the feeling it was going to change very quickly and even to disappear. With genuine modesty, she would say of him later,
I complete him, but keep my place. It's him you must really get to know.
This was a Brittany steeped in religion, and she attended many processions and festivals. As soon as she arrived at Dinan, she placed La Grande Vigne under the protection of Saint Yves, whom she venerated. In Finistère, the festival of Saint Barbe aux Fauettes inspired a triptych, which today remains one of her major works. Meux insisted, you must bear witness. You must record the life and times, the Breton soul. During her long walks along the Rance estuary, she observed and studied the gestures and attitudes of the local fishermen who were there to fish for place. In this sense, each trip was an eternal new beginning. Yet she didn't only draw people. She also took an interest in the local heritage, in architecture, houses, fountains. She loved travelling and often used her car to make her numerous journeys. Like my great-aunt, Yvonne Jean-Haffen loved entertaining. There were always lots of artists and local personalities who spent happy hours in the living room or in the workshop of Grande Vigne. These precious moments allowed the opportunity for her to present her ceramic, decors and her pottery. In the end, how can one not marvel, standing in front of one of her paintings, where the Breton landscapes almost beckon us? In 1992, she received the ermine necklace, which is in recognition of people who have worked to promote Breton culture.
I consider this ermine above all as a certificate of Breton naturalization and the homeland I have chosen with my heart. I never want to leave it again and even want to be buried here.
When I found all this out, I am certain that Miss McCullum would like to have known Yvonne Jean-Haffen, and thanks to her, La Grande Vigne has rediscovered its soul.